Hi YouTubers, it's Mike Pilcher again. I have something to talk about that has burdened me a lot in the last few days. Um, I know by now that the infamous debate of Ken Ham and Bill Nye the Science Guy has certainly reached your ears. You've heard of it. You've heard the responses, pro and con. One of the things that has really disturbed me though about the aftermath of that debate is just how many Christians want to come to the defense of Bill Nye because he holds to an old Earth view, the idea that the Earth is older than 6,000 to 7,000 years old, which is what the Bible seems to indicate. But that really disturbs me. And a person recently, to whom I used to be very much associated with, I used to go to his church, posted a view on his posted a video that is on his Facebook, proving the old Earth view, arguing for the old Earth view. Or at least I assumed. I didn't actually watch it, but I knew this man's belief system, so I knew if he posted it, it had to be of that view. And so I, in the spirit of honest academic debate, just posted another one to the opposite view, not being intending to be inflammatory, just simply trying to see that the debate was accurately represented for both sides, and that people would be able to make an educated decision. I now realize that was something of a mistake. It was a mistake. I should not have been able to do that without realizing it would gender controversy, even though I did not intend to start a debate. But I sure got one. Or maybe I should say an argument. That's a far better thing to call it. It did not have the dignity of a debate. I was immediately lambasted, not just by this man, but especially by his wife, who criticized me, and that's fine. I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be all-knowing, and it's not as though I haven't changed my opinion on issues before. Biblical issues. I'm open-minded in some areas where I used to be closed-minded, and so learning is a growing process. So I'm not against being challenged. I'm not afraid to stand up for what I do believe. But what I am absolutely against is having an online debate. And I've come to this conclusion not just from this last occasion, but from where I've discussed other issues. See, a funny thing about me is that while I'm a peacemaker by personality and don't like conflict, I gravitate toward confrontational issues. Debatable issues, controversial ones. I think it's my natural sense of curiosity. I just want to learn. I want to find out. I want to hear of a subject of which there's a debate, and I want to look into it and find out what I really believe, and more importantly, why I believe it. And this is true in my approach to religion, Christianity, to history. Even in history, I'm a history buff. I love studying the Civil War. Just because it's so inherently controversial. Even my martial arts, you'd be surprised how controversial martial arts is. Do you prefer a grappling style versus a traditional style? Do you prefer a Western style versus an Asian style? It's just inherently controversial. Well, I've learned the hard way not to get into a debate. Unfortunately, in this case, I allowed myself to be goaded into one. And without trying to say anything more about the character of the person who came after me, I'm going to now present my reasons why I refuse in the future to be getting involved in any more debates online, okay? First of all, when you debate on the internet, be it by Facebook, be it by YouTube, in the comment section, first of all, it allows for intellectual bullying. This is because a person who loves the fight more than the truth can have a bunch of evidences already pre-stacked up that they can unleash on you in a moment and give you the impression that you're an idiot for not holding their viewpoint, which is not biblical, nor is it intellectually honest. You don't bully your opponent. But these are the kind of people who flock to these social media accounts where they, and that's the second reason, have no accountability. They can post 10 articles for you to read, and it's going to take you 3 hours to read it, and then you have to do the research based not just taking the word of the article. You have to do the research to find out if the source is credible, whether they did their information right, and very oftentimes that is not the case on any number of issues that you could be studying. I'm not just applying this to old Earth. This could be any number of things. Because in the past, before I knew better, I did get involved in debates with atheists. I got involved in debates over the Civil War, over martial arts, you name it. But I'm no more, okay? The argument has no end, no foreseeable end. In an actual debate, you both rearrange a time, a place, a neutral moderator. You both have time to prepare your notes. You both have equal time for presentation and rebuttal. You have no such limitations, which is why, again, like I said, there's no accountability, and the debate is literally endless. And those bullies to whom I referred to will keep it going endlessly because, like I said, they enjoy the fight even more than the truth. Even if they're right, okay? Even if they're right, they enjoy the fight more than the truth. And that just invites strife, which is not biblical. And they will goad you on by every time you answer, whether it's a good answer or not, whether they have an answer or not, they will provide one. Because, again, there's no accountability. All they have to just do is spew out something, and you have to go take 10, 15 minutes, if you want to be honest, at the very minimum, if you have immediate resources, to go and prove them wrong definitively. And that's just a big part of it. It gives room for those who do not seek the truth but look for a fight. It's inherently an argument, not a debate. It invites strife, and it's not Christ-like. I am not against debate. Like I said, I am not afraid of standing up for my own ideas. I'll stand up on this subject and many others. I don't like to debate, but I'll do it. So what I'm going to be doing now in response to the debate I already had, the argument, sorry, I'm going to be posting a series of videos on YouTube to show why I believe in the young Earth view. And after that, I'll be tackling some of my other more controversial issues. I'm not going to be bullied into believing anything. I have absolutely no disrespect for my opponents, be they saved or unsaved. The Bible says that in some instances, those things that are very, very obvious to a person are not obvious to them because their foolish hearts are darkened. That's what the Bible says. It says that, for instance, talking about unsaved people, it says that the God of this world, referring to the devil, has blinded the minds of them. Thus the glorious light of the gospel should shine unto them. For those who have been born again, we know it's such an obvious, if you were to look at it from an intellectual viewpoint, such an obvious conclusion. Why would you not get saved? It's so obvious, but they can't see it because they are blind. We have to remember at the end of the day, our opponents are not our enemies. Pray for your opponents. And even when you are right, pray for your opponents, and not in a condescending way. Not in a way that says, oh, if only they have done as much research as I can, then surely they will see the light as I have done. No, don't have that attitude. Pray, first of all, that, first of all, neither yourself nor anybody are ever going to be completely full of goodness and completely free of error. We will all get to heaven and find out just how wrong we were. Every last one of us, including myself, on any number of different issues. Okay? So don't have that attitude that you're enlightened, that you're coming down from the pantheon of academic elite, and that somehow you're going to get the whole world straight. That is that flies in the face of 1 Peter chapter 5, which says God resisteth the proud. It didn't say the proud and the wrong. It says the proud, period, and giveth grace to the humble. And it is by grace that we even receive salvation. We need grace for every element of our lives in the Christian walk. So I'm just going to be telling you right now, I'm going to be talking about some controversial things in the future. But I will not be debating anybody. I'll be posting this on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And if you want to put down any comment that is clearly meant to engender some kind of conflict, some kind of debate, some kind of argument, however reasonable, with myself or with somebody else who posts on my video, you will be immediately deleted, and I will sleep well at night. I will delete the comment. Now, I am not above reproof. Everybody at all times ought to be searching their heart like David did. Every day he prayed, Lord, search me and know me. Try my heart and see if there be any wicked way in me. You ought to be doing that not just in your beliefs, but in your attitudes, sins of commission versus omission. Men need accountability. If you think you've caught me in some error, and I could promise you I'd never lie to you, but if you think you've caught me in some error that is honest, certainly, you may be right. Message me. You can message me. Both Facebook and YouTube have message boxes. You can message me, but do not expect a response back. I promise that I will take it into consideration and give it honest prayer and consideration, but I will not allow a debate to start there either. It will not happen. If enough people bring up the same point, I may make a video response to it, and I will give it its due time. I will give it its due benevolence. I can promise you that, but I will not promise a response. Don't expect one. Having said that, I don't want to leave this on a negative note like this. I just want to say God bless you. If you're watching this and you're a saved person, realize that God has more planned for you than you can possibly imagine. I'm not talking prosperity gospel here. I'm talking about the fact that God has an amazing plan for you. He wants to do things with you that you cannot imagine in your life. I want you to go and seize that, but that involves getting to know Him. It all starts with getting to know Him. praying and reading your word and memorizing it and meditating upon it, ruminating in it, letting it go through your system, cleaning out your brain. Psalm 119 says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to the word. You must let it ruminate inside you and become part of your system. Assimilate it. That is the beginning of the greatest form of joy that you will ever be able to experience on this earth. So that's my admonition to you. Go out and seize the promise of God. You have a good day. God bless.